In 1949, with the horrors of the previous decade still fresh in their mind, countries including Australia joined together to discuss the failings of the rules of war and unnecessary massive loss of civilian lives that had resulted from the Second World War. As a result, the Geneva Convention relative to the protection of the civilian persons in time of war was created. The aim of this treaty was to provide protection for civilians and non-military personnel, such as chaplains and hospital staff, within a war zone and prevent the devastating loss of life that the signatories had witnessed over the decade preceding the treaty's creation. The treaty was subsequently agreed to under the Chifley Labor government and ratified under the Menzies Liberal government in 1957 as the Geneva Conventions Act of 1957. Australia has always had a strong bipartisan approach to ensuring that the armed conflicts Australia and our allies engage in support the application of the conventions, as well as ensuring the Australian Defence Force keeps its commitment to providing humanitarian support. It is important that we recognise this, and I would like to thank the member for Moreton for supporting this motion as a co-chair of the Parliamentary Friends of the Red Cross. This year marks the 70th anniversary of the creation of this treaty and is a time where we must reflect on the current nature of armed conflict. The undeniable conclusion of this reflection is that this treaty is as significant to conflicts around the world today as it was at its conception. Along with the previous three Geneva Conventions of 1864, 1907 and 1929, and the additional protocols, these collective set of treaties have become a cornerstone of international humanitarian law. Since 1993, the conventions have been part of a customary international law and are thus binding on all state actors engaging in armed conflicts. We must also pay respect to the Australian Red Cross and its parent organisation, the International Committee of the Red Cross. This organisation has been instrumental in protecting the sick, wounded and victims of armed conflict since its establishment 156 years ago. To this day, the Red Cross continues its vision in providing human dignity, peace, safety and well-being for all. It tirelessly supports the application of international humanitarian law and has reduced the suffering across Australia and around the world by supporting people in times of their greatest vulnerability. Red Cross Australia lists 6 current strategic goals: building an active humanitarian movement, creating resilience in disasters, championing peace and reducing suffering, overcoming adversity, maintaining an innovative organisation and providing safe and secure blood supply. The Red Cross's work in promoting the 1949 Geneva Conventions was recognised recently by the organisation's patron, His Excellency the Governor-General, who described the organisation as being pivotal to building and maintaining respect for the conventions and international humanitarian law. Therefore, it is important that we as a parliament support the ongoing dedication and leadership of this organisation. A fundamental part of supporting the organisation's mission is examining our involvement in international application of the Geneva Conventions. Unfortunately, the conventions are not universally respected. We are all aware of the current regional destabilisation caused by armed conflicts in the Middle East and Africa. As a global leader in advocacy for these conventions, we must ensure that we remain focused on providing support for the peaceful resolution of these conflicts, such as in Yemen. Furthermore, as international law is becoming increasingly relevant in the global age, it is therefore imperative that we use this anniversary to reinforce Australia's continuing efforts to ensure the implementation of the conventions into use by state actors.
All right.